Welcome to the Depot Sports Chat. I'm Drew Rubenstein with Kristin Kurelic today, and we'll take a look at the area high school football matchup, starting off with Morgantown High back on the road at John Marshall this week. Last week, the Mohegans had to win against Musselman without star Chazzy Thomas. What's the latest there? Are they going to have to try to do that again this week?
They probably will be doing that again this week. I was at practice earlier this week, and Chazzy was spending most of the practices in the training room, stretching out, getting work done. He probably, if Morgantown was playing a really quality opponent, he probably would be, tough enough to get in the game and anyway. But I think against John Marshall, they're probably going to opt to hold him out, just be safe. They've got the Mohawk Bowl coming up next week. He says that he'll be good to go for that. It's just a high ankle sprain. It's not that severe. He's not on crutches, no brace, nothing like that. So he should be good to go in 2 weeks.
And it seems like maybe last week you learned a little bit about the Mohegans' depth too, with some other guys stepping in. And when you look at this matchup against John Marshall, they rely on the run, and it seems like that probably favors the Mohegans. The teams that have given them some trouble have more of a passing game, and they've been able to overpower teams, I guess, that just rely on the run.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I was talking to Coach Bowers about this earlier this week, and he's always, as a coach, critical of his team and says, well, we need to work on our rush defense. Actually, we've had some fundamental breakdowns. They did have a couple teams hurt them with the run. Actually, really just one, just Martinsburg, who has a phenomenal rusher in their quarterback. John Marshall has a solid rusher, however, probably not someone that is going to be able to do that sort of damage. So I think MHS should be pretty good as far as the defending John Marshall this week.
Sure. Going to the next one, University and Preston, two area teams squaring off in this game. The Knights don't play Morgantown High anymore, but this matchup is still happening. UHS, were you impressed with how they were able to overcome their injuries last week and kind of respond to just dealing with some bad hands that were dealt to them?
Yeah, University's had a rough season with injuries. They did get Billy Kinney, their kicker punter, back last week, although he's not kicking yet. He is punting and probably will be doing the same thing for the rest of the season, punting for them and not kicking. So that was a big boost. But on the other hand, they lost 3 of their starting linemen, and had a lot of guys going down, and they fought through it just fine. And you could barely tell. There was a couple bad snaps that hurt them momentarily, but honestly, they were kind of firing on all cylinders last week, and they look pretty good going into this matchup against Preston.
You did some research into this matchup as well. What did you find there? It's been pretty lopsided over the last 10 years.
Yeah, the University defense is always pretty strong, and it has definitely shown in the matchup with Preston over the last 10 years. UHS has shut out Preston 8 of those 10 seasons. They gave up 8 points 3 years ago and 18 points back in, I believe, 2004, and that's about it. So,
Yeah, so it's been one-sided in that regard.
It's been a bit one-sided.
Preston, though, has shown signs of improvement the last 2 years under Coach Tennant, getting to 3 wins, which they hadn't gotten to before that. And how about Josiah Noose? Could he present some problems to University?
Yeah, I think, of anyone, that's who the Hawks have to be worried about. Josiah Noose has been running really well for Preston, a fast little running back for them, and he last week he led them to a come-from-behind win against East Fairmont in the second half. He had 7 touchdowns, 5 rushing, 2 receiving, and he's had some big nights really recently, so that will definitely be the focus for the Hawks, is to stop him. Okay,
and going into the last one, Clay-Battelle back at home hosting Van, and it seems like new week, same old story with the CBs. They're again favored, probably significantly, against a team that probably is overmatched. Yeah,
pretty much. Van is the 3-4 team. Haven't really played a lot of teams either. Their quarterback is pretty decent. He is their leading rusher. He's about 4th in the state passing-wise in Class A. However, I think that's more statistics, and that's pretty much a one-man show. And Clay-Battelle has quite a lot more than that, I would say.
Right, absolutely. A couple more weeks before that showdown with Madonna. But Kristin, appreciate your time today, and please continue to check thedpost.com for all the latest on our area high school teams. Thanks for watching today.